Good morning, Hawthorne. Good to see everybody again. Coming to you from my bedroom today with some different types of food. I've got some mango passion fruit juice, got some salsa in a can, macaroni noodles, and raisin bran. And today we're going to talk about the lines underneath the calories. So, in your macaroni, it's pretty easy to see that one serving of macaroni has 200 calories in it. Now, the next box underneath has 5 things in them, and we're going to focus on 3 of those 5 things. The things that are in there are your fats, your cholesterol, sodium, carbohydrates, and proteins. So those are the 5 total things that are in that box above the solid black line. The 3 that we're going to focus on today are the 3 things that your body gets all of its energy from. And those 3 things are your fats, your carbohydrates, and your proteins. And we're going to talk about each one of those in a little bit more depth on days later this week. But right now, almost all foods have a mixture of carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. If it doesn't have one of those things in it, it probably has the 2 other. Different foods are different, but most things that you'll eat as a main part of your meal have a mixture of fats, proteins, and carbohydrates. And when you make your diet, you want to think about each of those things like this. All of your energy, all the calories that you bring in come from carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. And you want your diet to be about 55 to 60% carbohydrates. So those are things like breads, pastas, the sugars that come in fruits, and actually all sugars are carbohydrates, but we're going to talk about how some sugars are a little better than others later on this week. About 25 to 30% of your calories should come from fats. And those are exactly what you think they are. Oils, things that are fatty typically have more energy in them than things that are not fatty. So we'll talk about that a little bit later. And then 10 to 15% of your protein, of your calories, should come from protein. Proteins are easiest to find in animal meats, but they're also found pretty abundantly in nuts and certain types of vegetables, and we'll talk about that later as well. So more than half of your calories should be coming from carbohydrates for most people, 25 to 30% from fats, and then 10 to 15% from proteins. And when you add them all up, they should come to 100% total. All right, that's your nutrition exercise. Oh, I was going to tell you about this. Technically, you can eat anything. So this is a book. It's Mrs. Green's book. Just got paper in it. If I wanted to, I could eat this, and it would fill up my stomach. I would feel full. The problem is that food has energy sources, things that my body can digest in it. Paper, pillows, cell phones, pens. You could eat these if you wanted to, but they don't give you any nutrition. So you want to make sure that you're sticking to things that have carbohydrates, proteins, and fats in them. That's your nutrition lesson. We're going to get into your challenge now. Your challenge today is a strength exercise. It's a plyometric exercise, which means it's explosive. It's a type of push-up. So you start out in your high plank, you come down. You're not going to be able to see me very well, and now my head's right in the screen. Sorry about that. You have to look right at me. And when you come up, you're going to see if you can bring your hands off the ground fast enough to clap. So up, and then catch yourself. If you're not quite able to get to where you can clap yet, see if you can just push yourself up as fast as you can and get your hands a little bit off the ground. This is building explosive strength through your shoulders, through your triceps, and your biceps. I can honestly say that I can't do that many of them. Start out with maybe 3 or 4, take a quick break, try 3 or 4 more, and then see where you're at. All right, Hawthorne, great to see everybody. Hope you're learning a little bit from these lessons. It's really helping me feel connected to everybody, so thanks for watching.